There's a changing world out there, and so much of it we want to share with you. CNN, showing life from every point of view. And just because we care, we're always there. CNN tells it right, your window on the world both day and night. You will see faces that make history, the laughter and the tears, the hopes and fears. CNN on the go, because you have the right to know the score. Where there's war, tribulation, new sensations, we bring you so much more. I witnessed the incredible, experience the wonderful, the joy, the peace, the world within your reach. Experience life on CNN.
On CNN Sports Late Night, there is a new $1 million baby in red. This rose smells rich. Didn't cost near as much to put the Royals in the White House for a day, just a couple daring comebacks. And speaking of those, Magic Johnson hung his shingle back out in the NBA. And in hockey, all the Kings' horses and all the Kings' men couldn't stop the Bruins from scoring again and again and again. Hello again, everybody. Trick or treat. Welcome to the late night Halloween edition. And Pete Rose went door to door today, held out his bag, and got treated to a little bit more history than he ever thought he'd get. For as long as they have been playing these games, it has been a manager's lament. How does a guy making $40 grand a year give orders to a player making $2 million? Well, the Cincinnati Reds ended all of that today, bringing manager Pete Rose at least within shouting distance of his stars.
This man, I think, is 1 in a million, okay? And he's becoming a 1 in a million man with $1 million. Not so much a salary or anything, but I think to reward him for what he has done for all of us. And, of course, that makes Mr. Peter Ueberroth the highest paid player manager in baseball. Look at him smile.
And, well, he should smile. From a salary of $250,000 as player manager of the Reds this past season to $1 million next year, and it didn't take that long to work out.
And it took like 4 or 5 hours last week, and there was no problems. Everyone come in smiling, everyone left smiling. Everyone stated exactly what they thought was on their mind, and Marge had some legitimate ideas, and Ruben did too, and we just worked it out.
And it was really more of a tribute to Pete to say he's 1 in a million, and he's my $1 million baby.
A 44-year-old baby who took over a fifth-place club and had them in the race for the pennant until the final week of the season, all the while breaking Ty Cobb's record in the process.
Just imagine the guy, the pressure he had to go through, putting both those things together, playing and managing at the same time, and he just did a remarkable job.
And so who should be the National League Manager of the Year?
If you base it on a turnaround, you almost have to think that I will get it.
And how about if you base it on biggest raise, like 400%?
Come on, Peter Ueberroth.
Super. With proper prejudice. Meanwhile, Baseball Commissioner Peter Ueberroth on the book promotion trail these days appeared on the Phil Donahue show Thursday morning and joined the Cardinals in their finger-pointing, saying that the umpire did indeed blow the call in Game 6 of the World Series. And then they got into the Joaquin Andujar fine and suspension for his bumping incident in Game 7.
Joaquin Andujar was suspended. Joaquin Andujar was suspended for 10 days. That's 2 starts for a pitcher. He will miss 2 starts next year, and the penalty was $500. Mr. Commissioner, sir, there will be some among us who don't think that's enough. How would you respond to that?
Well, yeah, I would respond, we ought to get the facts. And the facts are, if you're suspended for 10 days, you lose pay for 10 days. How much is pay? About $6,000 a day.
You feel better now? Is that it?
Some of the women in that audience wanted to give Andujar life before that question was answered. Ueberroth also said he might change the current designated hitter rule in the next World Series, American League rules and American League parks and vice versa. In other baseball news today, Dodger manager Tommy Lasorda has been given a 2-year extension on his contract after leading his team to a 5th division championship in 10 years. Dick Williams, who was rumored to be on the block at San Diego, came out of a meeting today with club officials and said He will be back next season as the Padres manager. It will be the final year on his 5-year contract. The jobs in both Pittsburgh and Houston remain open, however. Astros owner John McMullen says Billy Martin is not in the running for the job there, but apparently third base coach Hal Lanier of the St. Louis Cardinals is. And in Pittsburgh, Jim Fregosi and Joe Torre, both of whom have been on the Major League managerial merry-go-round before, are the front runners there. And one final note for you, the author of a book called Temporary Insanity is temporarily out of work, maybe permanently as far as baseball is concerned. Jay Johnstone, 17 years in the majors, released by the Dodgers today after just 2 hits in all of 1985. Of course, he only had 15 at-bats, which is permanently insane. And how do you make it to the White House? Practice, practice, practice is one method. Win, win, win is yet another. Ask the Kansas City Royals, who made it there today. CNN's Craig Sager has details.
A week ago, the Royals were down 3-1 to the heavily favored St. Louis Cardinals. And most figured the only way they'd make it to the White House would be to masquerade on Halloween. But in true American spirit, the Royals were at their best when the chips were down.
In that Interstate 70 series, the show me spirit really came through. Your team showed the world, and you did it royally. That's it.
They say whoever wants to know the hearts and minds of America had better learn baseball. As a former announcer for the Chicago Cubs, no one questions the president's knowledge of the game. And now, with more important duties, he was forgiven for a slip of the tongue.
And, of course, Dan Quisenberry, the premier relief man, whom I called Jim on the phone the other night. Heads will roll in the West Wing for that.
For 17 seasons, the Royals have competed in the smallest market in baseball. After winning the World Series, the team has been discovered. Even the president has received a touch of royalty. Craig Sager, CNN Sports.
Coming up, the NBA night with a stop in Landover, Maryland, and a look up at Minute, and a look down the stretch at the Breeders' Cup, and a very busy trainer. Stay with us.
The oysters we make our living on look pretty tough, but they live in a very fragile world.
So when Phillips Petroleum came here to look for oil, they used aerial infrared photography to keep from disturbing places we fish for oysters.
That's why I buy Phillips gasoline. Not because of what they're doing in the Delta, but because of what they're not doing.
That's performance. From Phillips Petroleum, you'll find performance in everything we do.
Reaching for the sky, fearless ones who jump and fly from coast to coast onto the plains. The superstation's got your game. Some will win and some will cry. We won't forget the ones who try. The superstation paves the way. Superstars and super plays. They're the heroes of today. America loves to watch them play. Stand and cheer for our great nation. Super sports on the Superstation.
WTBS, great American sports.
CNN tells it right. Your window on the world both day and night.
Weekdays at noon Eastern, join Dave Walker and Lois Hart for a lively look at your midday news. You'll see fascinating features, share your views by phone, get to know the folks who drop by.
Now in California, a mixed marriage is a boy and a girl.
Take a little time for Take Two.
Experience life on CNN.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. And somewhere it is written that when you are down and struggling and trying to find your rhythm, you shouldn't play the Los Angeles Lakers. If it wasn't written before tonight, it is now by the winless Phoenix Suns. And the Magic Man was back to hang out his shingle one more time, and it reads, fast break starts here. James Worthy rebounds the miss. He goes to Magic Johnson, who goes back to Worthy, who goes to Mike McGee for the easy two. They make it look so nice, don't they? McGee had 20 on the night, and the Lakers are cooking. This time, Magic rebounds. The long outlet pass to Byron Scott. It drops in the layup. Scott led all scorers on the evening with 31. And the rookie, A.C. Green, gets in his 2 cents worth. More than that. Steals the pass, then races down court where Larry Spriggs hands over the ball for a slam. Lakers win it easily for the 58th time, by the way, over the years over the Phoenix Suns, 144-107. Meanwhile, in the sports arena in Los Angeles, Don Chaney has the Clippers rolling 4-0 with a lot of bull to handle tonight, though. John Paxson, the newest Chicago Bull, with the alley-oop to Orlando Woolridge. Paxson's first game as a Bull. Woolridge had 28 on the night. Marcus Johnson kept the Clippers close. Franklin Edwards with the steal. He starts the break. Johnson slams it home at the other end, and he's fouled. He had 33 on the night. But Jamal Wilkes caught fire in the final period and was really the instigator of the comeback. First, he drives the lane, and after the double pump, he lays it in. And it's 104-102 Los Angeles. And then next time down the floor, he's at the front end of the break, taking it all by himself for the layup. And a 5-point Clipper lead on their way to a deceptively easy-looking 120-112 victory over the Chicago Bulls, who were again without Michael Jordan. Around the rest of the NBA, Sacramento wins its first, or gets its first game in the NBA. The former Kansas City Kings win it over Houston, 122-116. Larry Drew with a steal and a basket in the last 11 seconds to ice it. Denver over Seattle, 90-73. The story in this game, Supersonics scored just 8 points in the fourth quarter. That ties a record for the lowest points in a fourth quarter in NBA history. 90-73 they lose. The Warriors win their first of the season. Joe Barry Carroll with 28. Patrick Ewing had 27 for the winless Knicks, but he got in foul trouble early and was on the bench most of the evening. Finally, at Cap Center in Landover, Maryland, Cleveland's in town looking for a victory, off to a scary start on the evening. Cavs jumped off to the quick lead. Their first points of the game came when Phil Hubbard lobs it to Roy Hinson, who slams it home. He had 24 on the night. Still in the first quarter, the Cavaliers in absolute control of this game. Inexplicably, World B. Free steals the ball from Darren Day, goes all the way for the layup. 27-10 Cleveland. Wasn't so easy for Free, though. With the score 74-57, Free was looking to score more, but the Dinka tribesman named Manu Bull just blocks it with his armpit, and he had 2 of those on the night. Bullett's only threat came late in the fourth quarter. Jeff Malone, who had 25 to lead him, hit the jumper to cut the Cavs' lead to 8 points, but Cleveland's leader, Lloyd B., and then took charge. World B hitting the sky jumper. Free led Cleveland with 24, and the Cavaliers win their first of the year, and that is 7 faster than they got it last year. They lost their first 10 of last season. Well, final 114-107. Only 2 games tonight in the National Hockey League, neither of monumental consequence. The Los Angeles Kings, eager to put a string of victories together after a terrible start, at the Boston Gardens tonight against the Bruins. And 2 hockey sticks came dressed as fans, wild and crazy fans there in Boston. The goaltender for Boston, Pete Peters, robs Jay Wells on the breakaway here. He was great early on and kept him in there as Los Angeles rallied around him all night long. Score tied at 1. Second period, Barry Pedersen feeds former L.A. King Charlie Simmer, who fires it into the upper corner, and it's 2-1 Boston. Bruins go up 3-1 with Keith Crowder's turnaround and beats Darren Elliott, who has apparently got the job for good in nets for the Los Angeles Kings. It's 3-1 that stage. Third period action, the Kings make it 4-2. The deflected shot by a Bruin into the Los Angeles net, and it's 4-2. But Bruins rookie Dave Payson comes off from behind the Kings net, stuffs it by Elliott for his first NHL goal to really ice it for Boston. 6-2 at that stage. 7-4 the final score. The Boston Bruins win it. Kings are now 2-6 on the season. Meanwhile, in the Meadowlands, the Red Wings are in town to face the New Jersey Devils. Final minute of the first period, Ron Duguay picks up the rebound, feeds Gerard Gallant for the tap-in. His 6th goal of the season. It's 1-0. Second period, Devils on the power play. Joe Sorella takes the slap shot from the point. Mark Johnson converts the rebound, and it's 1-1. And we go to the third period. Still anybody's hockey game. Red Wings on the power play. Steve Yzerman with a perfect pass to Kelly Kissio, who scores in the lower left-hand corner, and it's 2-1 Detroit. But just 28 seconds left in the game. Mel Bridgman feeds it in front, and Doug Suleiman, who did all the work on the boards, gratefully gets the goal to tie it, his 5th of the season. Red Wings, just about 18 seconds later, 10 seconds left in the game, had a chance in regulation to win. Gerard Gallant in all alone, misses the first shot. The rebound is missed as well. and they go to overtime. Neither club can score, and they wind up with that 2-2 tie. Well, 7 races worth a total of $10 million up for grabs on Saturday in the Breeders' Cup at Aqueduct Racetrack in New York. A sad day for a couple legends. Trainer Roger Lauren, Horse of the Year candidate Chiefs Crown, making their final appearances before retiring. Meanwhile, trainer Wayne Lukas looking to extend his record earnings. CNN's Dan Patrick has his story.
His business philosophy is simple. The results of that philosophy, simply amazing.
We're kind of the old Vince Lombardi school. We think that winning's everything.
And this year for Wayne Lukas, winning is the only thing. Highlighted by a victory in the Preakness Stakes, Lukas is having one of the greatest seasons a trainer has ever experienced. No one has saddled more winners. No one has been saddled with as many detractors. The critics claim this West Coast trainer couldn't win in New York. He has. They also said he runs his horses ragged. They're winners today, but gone tomorrow.
We've been severely criticized in many places as to some of our methods and so forth, but then we point to the bottom line and say, look at the results.
Lukas has won over 60 stakes races this year and about $8 million. But his proudest possession is not one of his horses or one of his victories. It's his 27-year-old son and protege, Jeff.
If there's an achievement, if something I could point to in the game, it would be Jeff. I don't think that he knows any bounds. I think that his future is so much in front of him, and what he can do in the industry, I think, is just mind-boggling.
But Jeff will be hard-pressed to duplicate the year his father has enjoyed, because horse breeding and training are not pure sciences.
The problem is that you have to choose, in most cases, you have to choose your team before you see them play. You have to make a speculative judgment early on in their career. Would be trying to build your NFL football team and picking them out of junior high before you see them develop and run and pass and throw and do all the things that they are supposed to do. So that makes it a lot tougher.
Lukas is not only obsessed with winning, he is also compulsively neat. His stables are meticulously manicured inside and out. He feels this carries over to form a winning attitude. So for Wayne Lukas, an ideal Breeders' Cup day will be 4 winners and a pile of money. Make that a very neat pile of money. From New York, I'm Dan Patrick, CNN Sports.
On CNN Sports, Terry Chick reports on the undefeated Chicago Bears. The Monsters of the Midway are one of the NFL's most colorful and talented teams, with Jim McMahon, Walter Payton, and William the Refrigerator Perry. That's tomorrow on CNN Sports.
Athletes reaching for the sky, fearless ones who jump and fly from coast to coast onto the plains. The Superstation's got your game. Some will win and some will cry. We won't forget the ones who try. The Superstation paves the way for superstars and super plays. They're the heroes of today. America loves to watch them play. Stand and cheer for our great nation. Super sports on the Superstation.
WTBS, Great American Sports.
It's entertainment like never before. It's live from New York and wherever action abounds. Catch Showbiz Today, weekday afternoons at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, only on CNN.
Welcome back, everybody. And from the Sports Notebook tonight, Seve Ballesteros booted off the PGA Tour for failing to play in the minimum 15 tournaments a season, but who cares? Since he remains eligible anyway for the Masters, the U.S. Open, and the PGA regardless. The USFL meetings in progress in Memphis, Tennessee. Not a whole lot happened on Thursday. On Friday, however, they will decide how many of the franchises to fold. Redskins defensive end Dexter Manley smashed into a semi-tractor trailer this morning. In his car, by the way. He wasn't hurt. The car was totaled. Manley charged with failure to yield right away. Cleveland Browns may not know who's going to start at quarterback on Sunday against the Pittsburgh Steelers, but after losing all 15 games that they have played over the years at Three Rivers Stadium, they do know how they're going to get there this time. by plane instead of by bus, and they will switch hotels. Jinx? What jinx? They're still struggling to keep the November 14th fight card semi together in Las Vegas, despite losing the Hagler-Mugabe fight to Hagler's broken nose yesterday. Tommy Hearns was scheduled to fight James Schuler on the same card. That's up in the air now. One college football game tonight played in 40-mile-an-hour winds in Las Vegas. That's delightful for a couple passing teams. New Mexico State at Las Vegas against the Rebels of Nevada, Las Vegas. In the final, UNLV 17-12 over New Mexico State. The tone was set early. David Hollis, a 92-yard interception return, made it 7-3, and they went on to a 5-4 season at this point. A win might move Las Vegas into our top 25 next week, perhaps not. Not to worry, number 1 ranked Iowa, to be sure. The Hawkeyes have their minds on Ohio State this weekend, an Ohio State team which got very bad news today. On face value, the kind that appear on magazine covers, it would have been a great matchup. Would have. Chuck Long, the nation's best quarterback, against Keith Byers, one of the top 2 or 3 running backs in the country. Match yardage all the way to the Rose Bowl. Would have been nice had Byers stayed healthy. A sprain of the same foot he broke in preseason will sideline him Saturday when the number 1 team in the land comes to Columbus.
The doctor says nothing really happened to the foot except someone fell on it. There's no signs of any damage to the foot whatsoever, except it might have been landed on and sprained.
And so it shall be the Chuck Long show, or so it would seem. The best pure quarterback in college football the last few years.
He can throw the ball to the number 3 and number 4 receiver better than any college quarterback I've ever seen. A lot of good passers in college can throw to the primary receiver, but to be able to come off the primary or the secondary receiver because they're covered and dump the ball or throw it to 3 and 4 is really a great talent.
But just as Chuck Long and his number 1 ranked Hawkeyes come well armed, Ohio State without Byers is still a major force.
Just like Michigan each year, they just change the numbers on the guys, really. They all look the same. Great, big, strong, fast people.
Of course, this one's a very important game in the run for the Roses, and Ohio State's upset would throw the top of the Big Ten into a 4-1 logjam.
If we lose, then we have to play a who beats who at the end of the year type of thing like we do every year, but we can control our own destiny if we win the game.
Every game's a big game now every week, and you can't look at the past like Michigan and Michigan State. This is the big game now.
Iowa 1.5 favorites before the Byers news. That'll likely go up tomorrow. It has become, if you've noticed, quite the fashionable thing these days to admit to receiving under-the-table money as a collegiate player. 76ers rookie basketball star Terry Catledge, Charles Barkley, even Dominique Wilkins claims now that schools offered up to $30,000 to him before he finally chose Georgia. In part 2 of his series, CNN's John Fricke takes a closer look into the business of boosting.
The headlines tell the story. From Lexington, Kentucky to Fort Worth, Texas, scandals are rocking college campuses across America. College athletes are breaking the rules. They see everyone around them making money and wonder why all they get's a free education. How does the NCAA stop athletes from taking money illegally? The idea of paying the athletes an allowance or even increasing the amount of financial aid they can apply for has fallen on deaf ears. So the NCAA must attack with tough rules.
There is another one, item number 5, that has to do with being somewhat tougher on the athlete himself who participates knowingly in a major violation. You can have a way to probably declare ineligible the student who knowingly participated in whatever that particular offense was.
If threatening to kick an athlete out isn't enough, new rules passed this summer say the schools had better police themselves. If the players break enough rules, the school could lose its team. But not everyone agrees the rules are that effective. Georgetown Athletic Director Frank Rienzo, quote, "Some of the legislation puts the players into a position that would make it easier for them to accept illegal money. If the rules don't work, the NCAA is back at the question of, do you pay the players? Some have suggested a stipend, a set amount each month of, let's say, $100. But most administrators find the idea frightening. The Reverend Edmund Joyce, vice president at Notre Dame, quote, "Once you start giving a stipend, where do you stop? Currently, the stipend appears to be coming from outside the school, illegally. It, too, doesn't appear to be stopping. But schools themselves may be taking the lead. After 7 of its players admitted to accepting illegal payments, Texas Christian University in Fort Worth kick them off the football team. The NCAA has its credibility on the line. It has now said it will deal with violators with an iron fist. The new, tougher rules are only a couple of months old. But like the student athletes, the NCAA, when it is tested, must pass, because the price of failure is public embarrassment. John Fricke, CNN Sports.
This CNN Sports Closer Look is brought to you by Citibank MasterCard and Visa cards. It's the bank that makes them better.
Thanks a lot, Citibank. You had to make your Visa and MasterCards better than other banks. Only your cards offer city dining. It saves my boss and his wife 20% at restaurants all over town. So now he can take a bunch of the guys out to dinner. But he still can't take his mind off of work.
All right, boys, let's all step up to the plate. Dig in. And remember, it's all in the wrist. In the wrist.
Visa and MasterCard from Citibank.
Keep your eye on the meatball.
It's the bank that makes them better.
Now that's our time for tonight. Remember, tomorrow night, right here, the story of the unbeaten Chicago Bears. Sager Says, previews of the college football weekend, plus all those scores and the usual highlights. So join us then, please. Stay tuned now for News Night with Pat and Bev. I'm Jim Huber, and the news continues.
Now, for the first time on TV, the home gym that treats your body to a 9-station workout to get you quickly on the track to a slimmer, trimmer figure. Trim Track, durable, no-nonsense construction, compares to the big workout gyms, yet Trim Track can be yours on this special TV offer for just $39.95. It's a rowing machine, perfect exercise for flattening the tummy, and you'll love quality touches like the padded seat and smooth as silk track action. A hard-working exerciser, yet more fun than a backyard swing. The padded footlock is perfect for sit-ups, gives you a trim, tight waistline. Powerful spring handles make Trim Track great for leg curls, for tight buttocks and slim thighs. Hop on your knees for arm curls. Does miracles for arms and neck and chin. There's the shoulder shrug, the neck press, the leg lift, and our own exclusive aerobic workout tones chest, flattens the tummy, and puts you on the track to tip-top fitness. If you're even thinking about getting back into shape, don't spend hundreds of dollars on a home gym. Don't sign up for classes you'll never get to. Most of all, don't wait another minute. Have your credit card ready and call now. If you don't see real improvement in a flatter tummy, tighter waist, tonier legs and calves, just return Trim Track and owe nothing. Don't wait. Get on the Trim Track. It's the fast track to the slender, younger figure you've been dreaming of. Just $39.95. Have your credit card ready and call now. Here's how to order.
To order your Trim Track, call toll-free 1-800-257-1257 or send $39.95 plus $5 for shipping and handling to Trim Track, Box 8250, Atlanta, Georgia 30306. Or for fastest delivery, have your credit card ready and call toll-free 1-800-257-1257.
I'm a peaceful man. I wouldn't hurt a fly. But now I'm going to get out of line. I'm going to sign up for direct deposit, so I'll never have to stand in line with my government check again. With direct deposit, my money goes directly to my account automatically. That frees up my time for other things. Like my experiments.
Get direct deposit wherever you have your checking or savings account.
Oh, come on, get out of line.
Hi, I'm Don Carson, CNN Weather. Well, except for a few areas along and near the Gulf Coast, New York State, New England, and vicinity, most of the eastern half of the country will see lots of clouds and or rain on Friday. Let's check it all out now. The forecast weather map show you what I'm talking about here. Lots and lots of cloud showers and some heavy rain being kicked out from the remnants of Tropical Storm Juan, which will be a low-pressure system centered somewhere in the vicinity of the Carolinas and or Virginias. Most parts of the west will be mostly sunny, except for scattered rain showers for the Pacific Northwest. Rain and snow showers over the northern Rockies. Daytime highs Friday. Chilly 40s will dip down across the nation's midsection, clear down to the Texas Panhandle region. Meanwhile, the Texas and other Gulf Coast areas will be in the balmy 70s. Most of the South and Ohio Valley in the 70s. 50s for the Northeast, Great Lakes and Appalachians. Out west, 50s will dominate large parts of the Mountain West and Pacific Northwest. And that is our weather for now. Be sure to stay tuned to CNN for complete weather updates.
This is CNN, a service of Turner Broadcasting System.